Hello, all, a very warm welcome. My name is Louie Shalin, and today we are going to talk about the level 2 of the inner voice. The inner voice is an energy healing technique which I have devised over a decade of my experience in energy healing. And this healing process happens in 5 levels. And this is the series which we are running. We started talking about what is inner voice, how it helps, how an individual can take on this course, and how it is going to impact their life. And we talked about last Thursday we spoke about the level 1, where we talked about presence, where we acknowledge what's in, what's around, and how we can get in touch with our surroundings and what's within, because we cannot get in touch with anything outside until we are in sync with our own self. And today I'm gonna invite one of my associate with me over the live, and we'll be taking on the discussion from there. It's gonna be a discussion, so it's easier to understand, it's easier to talk about things, and for everyone who wishes to go about this course, it's gonna be they'll get a lot of insights on why they should be doing the inner voice and how it can help them. So let me call upon Samiksha with me. Hi Samiksha, how are you doing?
I am great and I'm happy to be here again.
It's good to have you here, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright, so today we are talking about cleansing, which is the level 2 of the inner voice.
yeah.
Sneha was here for level 1, and good to have you back for level
Which was
2 while we are discussing about it.
which was presence, right?
Right, presence. So it's just a process of acknowledging what's in, what's around, because we cannot really get in touch with what's outside until we are in touch with our own selves. That's the key
That
to it.
that's right. So once we have discovered that what is it that we're feeling, then the next step is cleansing, which we are
Cleansing,
going to
right.
discuss.
Absolutely. Well, there is a purpose that the inner voice is built into 5 different steps, or it is built into 5 different levels. And the reason is that after like, the first thing we got to do is to acknowledge. Until we don't acknowledge what's there, we can't really heal it, we can't really go about it.
Right.
Then comes cleansing. This is not the actual healing process, it is actually the actual healing process is going to come in level 4.
Hmm.
Level 2 is cleansing. It is not healing, but it is the process where we move towards healing.
Right.
A lot of times, like, people come across, like people who have done this course, when they join the course, the thing they talk about that they have been feeling good, but however, after a certain experience, a lot of things changed. Or someone, if they are going for an interview and something bad happens right before the interview, it not just ruins their interview, but their entire day, or sometimes even their entire week.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is a practice that helps us get over all of that, or helps us in understanding how to handle that. It's just the right knowledge that is the key to opening this door.
Okay.
So while we talk about cleansing, and like, it's basically a process where we acknowledge the presence of our chakras. When we talk about chakras, they define our energy self. This is our physical self, what we see. But deep within, we define ourselves at an energetic level. And chakras are the root, or they are the key of our energetic self. Root itself is a chakra, and that is the root of all chakras.
That's
And
right.
as we go from there, we have 7 chakras right from the root till the crown, which is at the top of our head.
Hmm.
Now, these chakras, they are in alignment and with different experiences. Each chakra, they define something which, what we uniquely define as experience or something which is intricately linked to our life. And like, let me talk a little about chakras, that starting from the root chakra. Root chakra, now each chakra has an element defined with it, and it has a certain property. I would not say property, but it signifies something which is intricately linked to our lives. Root
It does.
chakra depicts fear. The element is earth. It is that slow moving chakra that is really there deep within. It is rooted. It is meant for the processes where we root ourselves into a situation, just like a seed. It is so well grounded that it grows into a tree which can withstand storms and like whatnot. Moving up, like once the root chakra comes, second is the solar plexus. Second is the sacral chakra, which
So
is the
the
lower abdomen.
root chakra,
Yeah,
first of all, has to do with the feeling of security and the feeling of safety that we feel within ourselves. And
absolutely,
if that's not in alignment, then we feel a little bit, I don't know, insecure maybe, or unsafe in our own presence, in our own company.
absolutely. Feeling the sense of safety, that is all determined by the root chakra. One has to be rooted, otherwise, like you rightly said, all these feelings or these emotions, they tend to crop up a bit too much.
Yeah. So it's like the base. It's like the base that you build a whole building. And if that is not, concrete enough, then the whole building will collapse.
Absolutely. That's the base of it. And no, none of the other chakras, like this is also the chakra which has the heaviest impact on us,
That,
because there are other chakras as well, but we cannot talk about or we cannot connect to anything else until we are grounded. Being grounded is so important that we can't appreciate any other emotion until we are grounded.
yeah. So then moving up, then we move to the
Sacral chakra.
solar, the sacral.
No, the sacral, solar plexus, not, it's the sacral
Solar,
chakra.
yeah.
It is even above that, yeah. So sacral chakra, the element of sacral chakra is water, and it is connected with creation as well as pleasure. This is the thing that, like, as you can see, it's kind of a process. Like when a person, for example, enters a room, the first thing they look for is safety. Then that's a moment when they just sit and they can think about something. Like root chakra is related to the body, the safety of the body. Sacral chakra is linked with the emotions. They are depicted by water, and that's how they move. That is when a person starts to appreciate or acknowledge emotions once they start to feel safe. But however, guilt. Guilt is something that can block the sacral chakra. That is the key when it comes to taking care of one's guilt and the ability of letting go, because that's one of the properties of water. Water travels, it takes a lot of things with us, it takes a lot of things with it, but yes, it keeps dropping them out as and when.
So as you said that this chakra is related to, I'm forgetting the word, creation. Sorry,
Right.
creation, yeah. So how exactly, does creation, or maybe is it creativity that maybe amplifies when the chakra is in alignment, or like what exactly does creation mean?
Now, creativity, a lot of people, like I'll give you an example of this chakra being awakened or activated and being non activated. A lot of people, they're great at a lot of things, they're great at applying their brains, they are great at even doing a lot of things, but If we'll ask them to, okay, you do this thing, you make this painting, or maybe you draw something, or maybe you perform any form of art of your choice, it is hard for them. It is so hard for them. They're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? They are
That's
not alignment with their own emotions. Something happened and they are like, okay, all right, let's just brush this thing off. We gonna finish this task first. They're not in line with their own emotions. And yes, a lot of times it's a defense mechanism for a lot of people built in the younger ages. That if there is so much of emotions to be handled, which are overwhelming them, they'll stop feeling them at all. But being an adult, you've got to set it back. That's your thing to do, that's your responsibility, that's what a person has to go about.
Then we move on to the next chakra, which is the solar plexus.
Solar, solar plexus. Solar plexus, the element of solar plexus is fire. It's not just the burning fire, but that burning desire to do something, to go about something, something that we are really, really longing to do. The ability to go after a goal, to chase it, to hunt it down, lies in the solar plexus chakra. A lot of
The, dr-
times people, yeah, sorry,
the drive itself to get out of bed and
the
do something.
drive itself, absolutely. A lot of people, they say that they start a lot of projects, but they find it hard. They find it very hard to finish them. They had so much on their plate once, they started a lot of things, but they could not take it to conclusion. They could not finish it. Why? It is the solar plexus chakra. You gotta heal that. It is one of the heavier chakras, like they are the bottom three. These are the bottom three chakras, which are responsible for grounding of a person within the body. Because the three of them, they are placed well within the body.
Okay. So these three bottom chakras have more to do with just settling in, accepting our emotions, and just you know having the power to go for it.
Absolutely,
But
just being. And the top three, like they are the outward chakras, that they are built on connection with the outside world. They define that how much a person can be in line, or how much a person can be connected to the world outside of us. Well, we'll come to that, but before that we'll touch the seventh, or the chakra that connects the two. The chakra that connects the two is love, which is the heart chakra, and it is by and large the connection, or our connection, of the inner and the outer world.
okay,
And when we talk about love, love is not something which is a feeling, which is a thought. Love is something which is unique in itself. We cannot define it by using something else, because it is in itself what we can possibly know. It is the root of existence. It's the connection what we feel with ourselves, with others, and it's the union of the inner and the outer self. And yes, heart chakra. A lot of times people, they go in misalignment. And the reason is the heart chakra. They go in misalignment. They think something else, but they're not able to do it. They want to go right, but they're going left. You've got to align your heart chakra before you do that. And in order to do that, like it is about love, giving love and accepting love. And that's how it is blocked. That's how it is mostly blocked by grief, because grief marks the end of a situation in a person's life. That is something we cannot control, but beginning it once again is what is within our control.
yeah. So heart chakra, as you said, is one of those chakras that connects us with the outside world. And it happens that when we're born or when we're little kids, our heart chakra is open, and it's open for a lot of years. And so that way we start that way. And as we grow up, our heart chakra tends to close up on us a little bit. And then, it's up to us to open it again and recognize um, how to open it and what blockages are affecting that.
Absolutely. Many times people say we fear a heartbreak, we fear this may happen, we fear that may happen. Well, love is eternal. It cannot be bent, broken, or anything. It is eternal. It only changes its form.
Yeah. It's not even about what happened, or it's all about the story that we keep telling ourselves, the grief that we keep
Absolutely.
in the
It's
moment
not
that we
even about what happened
forgive.
or
But
all about.
Sorry.
am I audible?
Yes, 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 I can hear you.
Sure. So yeah, I was saying that uh, yeah, that then it's up to us to recognize blockages and get in touch with what our voices.
Absolutely. Like the story, like you said, we keep telling ourselves that really, really matters a lot because only we hear our own voice. No one else does. That's the voice which keeps ringing in our heads is our own voice and not anyone else's. And that
Yeah,
is something that is well within our control, the self talk that we do.
and we are the narrator of our own story, so we the narrative anytime.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's entirely our story or our interpretation of the story, of what we feel, what the reality seems to us in that moment. All right, then moving up. So then we
Let's
have
go.
the throat chakra. Throat chakra, it is defined by truth or voice or the basic art of speaking up in a situation where we are surrounded by something where we don't know what to do or something wrong is going on. The ability of a person to speak up is lies in the throat chakra.
That
A lot of people they perennially have a problem with the throat. They are like, we don't know, but we have constant cough and cold and we can't do anything about it. The key is they are unable to accept some truth about their own lives, and that gets their throat chakra in misalignment with all other chakras, and that leads to those infections and all and attract all those diseases to them.
So I would just like to tell a quick thing to anybody who's watching, like how many people. So the chakras basically they manifest as glands in our body. So that's how they affect the physical health of our body. Like you said, that if our throat chakra tends to physically affect us and cause problems. That because it physically manifests as a, you know as the gland that's present here.
Absolutely. All of this, like they are so much connected that we can't really keep them apart or take them at a different level. All right, well, moving further, then comes the third eye. That is truly about vision or envisioning what is coming up. There are people we walk up to them, we tell them a situation, and they are really, really so precise that, okay, this is what's going to happen. If you do this, this will happen. And that happens. That is just their ability or their alignment with the third eye chakra. Or when something has gone wrong, we walk up to people, well, couldn't you see that? What was there? Like, it was evident. They're like, well, it seemed okay to me. We don't really know how it was wrong. It is just the misalignment which is speaking. It's not them. And this is blocked by illusion. The illusion that lives around us and our belief in that. The moment we start breaking those illusions and the moment we start moving towards the truth, this illusion fades away. And that strengthens the third eye.
And also the interesting fact is that each and every chakra, is represented by a different color, different light frequency that it vibrates on. And does have
Right.
a lot.
Truly.
I mean, I personally think that colors have a lot of vibrations in them. Changes everything.
Right. Right. Truly. In fact, like if we just evaluate the chakras, we'll see a whip cure from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Starts from
And
violet,
the,
indigo, blue, heart is green, which is the union.
and
And
the
they are
union
directly,
makes white light.
yeah, sorry.
With,
Yes, and the union. Yes, that's the light of the nature, in fact. The green.
yeah.
And also, like it has said, that the red light travels the farthermost. It has the
Yeah.
highest wave and the lowest frequency. It has the highest wavelength, and that is what defines the depth of, or what we can say, the intensity of a chakra. That makes the root chakra more intense than the other ones. Just like the red light, it is gonna travel the farthest. And last but not the least, sorry, you were saying something. Might
No,
be
I was just
asking.
about the crown chakra.
Right. Perfect. So moving to the crown chakra. Crown chakra is our connection to the infinite. It is just like the thoughts, which is the fastest moving substance. It is not the light, even light takes 7 minutes to reach the earth from the sun, but thought doesn't. Like the next moment we can be talking about the sun, we can be thinking about the other part of the universe, which light might have never reached from our end. That's what makes it unique, and that is also the biggest challenge one has to face when one starts to deal with thoughts. Thoughts are those infinite. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear your voice
Yeah.
is cracking a little.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So thoughts are those infinite units which they exist in numerous numbers. There's no limit of thoughts that we have. There is no limit till which they can go. And that's the beauty of thoughts, that the
Yeah.
infiniteness of
But it,
right. That a lot of overthinking stems from that. And the only thing that binds us, or what blocks the crown chakra, is attachment. In those infinite thoughts, if we just try to grab hold of a few, our hands will soon be very full. We have no space for what's coming up. And that's gonna really affect us big time.
I also read somewhere that this energy, which is the light itself, flows upwards in our body.
Mhm.
So, when we start focusing on opening or balancing our chakras, we should start from the bottom because energy will be flowing upwards to our crown,
Right.
from our base to our crown chakra.
Crown chakra. Absolutely. And in fact, if we see from the root chakra, it starts with the sense of safety. Then the sacral chakra, it connects to our emotions. The chakra of solar plexus, that is with the drive in order to do something when we feel emotionally satisfied. Then comes the union, the emotion of love, or love in itself, which is beyond the definition of emotion. Then comes truth. After truth comes vision, which is vision is depicted by light, and throat chakra it is depicted by sound. And like you can see, the speed of every chakra is increasing. It is increasing as we are moving upwards. And the top three chakras, like I said, they live outside of us, which are sound, which is like the third eye, which is light, and the thoughts. They are not within, but yes, they are outside of us. But all we are processing them. We have their processing units, and that defines their connection with us and our connection to our inner world.
So now that we have discussed all the chakras in brief, So what is the cleansing practice, which is the level 2 of the course? What is it all about?
So, well, cleansing practice is something a lot of times people tend to absorb a lot of residual energies, what we can call residual in the sense we walk up to a place which has a what we call is a bad vibe. There was a bad vibe, and a person picked up that vibe from that place. And now that vibe is starting to affect that person. That, okay, I saw something terrible in the morning and I'm still feeling bad about it. That's okay. We tend to see not so good things and they make us feel bad. But it is the art of letting go. When we know how to let go of that, because it is the vibe of that place, it does not belong to us directly. It is not our vibe. So we should not be carrying it. However, it's a tendency that we tend to take on the vibe from people, from situations, from places, and this process of cleansing is just about letting go of all of that which is not a part of our vibe, which is not a part of our aura. We just need to release that. They don't belong to us. They are just sitting because we don't know how to throw them out, or we just don't know how to let them pass by.
And how exactly?
So aura is like, even in, I would say, in scientific terms, we can talk about aura, or in the terms of energy. In the terms of energy, it is that energy jacket that we are wearing, that energy around us. That is our aura. The energy which the density, now it's the density of that energy, the frequency of that energy. When a person comes into that aura, what are they feeling? What are the feelings or thoughts what they get from this aura? Now, in the scientific terms, emotions, they are magnetic in nature, and thoughts, they are like electricity, and together what they create is an electromagnetic field that surrounds us, that defines our aura, which means focus on good feelings or good emotions, go through good thoughts, like hold good thoughts and just let the others pass by. That's how we build an aura. And a lot of times there are holes that we develop in our aura. Now, how they are developed, it is with the limitation of thinking. A lot of times a person didn't know how to react, and they picked up an energy. Now, picking up that energy might be their limitation in thinking, but letting that energy go can be their greatest strength.
Letting go is the sort of practice that takes a lot of practice.
Yes, absolutely. Like any other practice, it is a practice which takes time, it takes a lot of effort. Like this, I will tell you, is the most intense part of the course. It is so relieving that we generally advise for the practitioners to have a meal or some rest after this one, because it is so draining at times. There are a lot of energies that we take up, we keep taking up, they deposit in different auras, in different chakras, based on to what they are linked. Something related to fear will go to the root chakra. Something related to love will go to the heart chakra. Something truth, it will go to throat. And so we take each chakra one by one, we go about its healing process, and we let go what does not belong to us.
So what we're doing is we are basically living our lives on autopilot, and this practice basically helps us get control of our own lives, and be the driver in, and decide which direction our life would go in.
Truly, truly. Now, this is what we can say, not just on autopilot. We invited even more pilots to come and sit with us. And now they are giving multiple instructions. Well, take a right, take a left, do this, do pace up, slow down, stop the car. like turn like get your aeroplane down, do this, do that. We are like, okay, you don't belong to this plane, just get out. Like we just let those energies go. But to be honest, like it's not something that brazen, but yes, that is something which we are supposed to do. We just let those energies go. That's okay. These energies, they don't really belong to us. And that's really like what we call is the practice of level two, what we do in.
Okay. So basically, it's a very intense practice which helps you learn to let go of things and not attach yourself to the vibes and the energies that we pick up throughout the day,
Mhm.
and learn to take
Ab-
control of our lives.
Absolutely. Taking control of that's one of the biggest things or one of the biggest gifts we can give to ourselves. And another thing which a lot of people have gained from this, like which especially for we are about to do something good or something important, something bad happens. It has just shaken us up altogether. We don't know what to do. We are totally running out of sorts. That is when this practice comes into picture. Taking a moment of breath, just being in the moment with ourselves, with our emotions, and just healing ourselves in that moment. It can do wonders. It can literally ease off a lot of stress that we are carrying right in that moment because something important is coming. And making sure that that something important is not ruined by something else.
Okay. I think more and more people need to learn this. If people start like doing this every single day, which is stop attaching themselves to unnecessary energies and vibes that they don't want, the world will be so peaceful. That's an
Absolutely.
that's literally just
Ab-
that's another discussion for another time. But yeah,
Truly. Yeah, well, with this, I would want to thank all of our viewers for joining in. And maybe you can write to us if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And thank you so much, Samiksha, for joining us.
thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you,
All right,
everyone.
bye bye.
Bye.